Let me set the scene for you. It's 10 a.m. Saturday morning. You're 9 years old again. You turn on the TV after having the longest week of your life, filled with whatever we did when we were 9. You're excited to see what's new on TV stations like our favorites like Jetix and Cartoon Network. Then you see this movie pop up. It's called Lupin the Third, Castle of Cagliostro, and you're not so sure if you should watch it. Well, I'm your conscience speaking 10 years later, and to your little 9-year-old self, you should do it. Lupin the Third, Castle of Cagliostro is always a movie I've looked at when browsing Netflix, but always put it off because it was just too old. I mean, it was literally made in 1978. This movie is literally more than twice my age, but oh boy was I wrong saying Castle of Cagliostro would be outdated. Lupin the Third, Castle of Cagliostro is the perfect movie to make you feel nostalgic like your younger self, watching Jetix or Saturday morning cartoons again. It has a fun, lighthearted cast of characters that anyone could enjoy. We have the classic gentleman player that's so smooth, it's like the butter on top of a Texas Roadhouse biscuit. You could probably witness Lupin rob a bank honestly and somehow think to yourself, man, that bank deserved to get their money stolen. Lupin just has the exaggerated swag of a production? Oh wait, I can't say that? I think you guys get the point where I'm going with this. I mean, what can I say? The way he jumps off rooftops is insane. And then we got the sharpshooter, aka Jigen. Man's got balls of steel in this movie. He literally carries a Barrett 50 cal and barrel stuff skids throughout this whole movie. I wouldn't be surprised if Jigen ended up in the Black Ops Cold War as the DLC operator or in the zombie storyline somehow. And of course, we cannot forget the classic samurai that's won with the win, Guilliman. He was the person that provided peace to the group and a samurai at its finest. Lupin the Third, Castle of Cagliostro is honestly a very organized movie that provides amazing animation, enjoyable laughs, and is definitely a contender for one of my favorite anime movies of all time. I mean, it's up there with some greats. Hi, hello, my name's Sitch aka Joe, and if I didn't scare you off with my intro, then welcome to the channel. I like to bring you guys anime that is worthy of me, the God Tongue. In today's video, I will be answering the question, is Lupin the Third, Castle of Cagliostro worth watching in 2021, 2020, and every year in the future? I will be judging this off of the story, its characters, and finally, the animation/OST. And if you end up enjoying the video, make sure you hit that sub button. It's free. I mean, you could always unsub later. It helps me in the long run, and hopefully I could provide some more cool content for you guys in the future. Also, if you don't mind, hit that like button so I could get boosted in the YouTube algorithm. Shall we get into it? The story picks up right after Lupin and the mystery gang robs a bank full of counterfeit money. While on their escape, they come into contact with someone chasing a woman driving behind a car. So as the gentleman we know Lupin is, he decides to do his best to gain control of the woman's car and save her life from death. Little did Lupin know that girl was an important part of his early years as a thief. With his passion of finding the greatest treasure of all time and figuring out the mystery behind this woman, Lupin took the ring she had. This leads our crew to set off on a journey to find the importance of the ring. Lupin also wants to figure out where the mystery girl was going so he could give the ring back to her. Since this is Lupin the Third movie, of course the treasure is the biggest part of it all besides the plot with the girl. A lot of people like to compare Lupin the Third to Indiana Jones, so if you watched Indiana Jones, you probably enjoy this. Personally, I haven't watched that classic, but I hear a lot of people say it's like that. Once we get to the Cagliostro Castle, the movie really starts to pick up. We are introduced to the villainous James Bond character that would probably have a pool of sharks if we could. Also, we cannot forget Inspector Zenigata, who is trying to track down Lupin and arrest him for his crimes of being an amazing thief this whole movie. Like I said, throughout this movie, we see more characters that will continue to surprise you and possibly plot points that you can see coming, but at the same time, it still threw me in a loop. This movie definitely has some classic spy action movie vibes, and personally, that's something I feel is missing from anime. If you guys know any classic spy anime, can you just leave it in the comment section down below? Yeah, it might be cheesy at times to have the classic spy action themes, but sometimes those are the best movies or shows that we watch. Now I want to talk about the subplots. I mean, there's a lot in this movie. You have Zenigata trying to catch Lupin, but he's also trying to figure out who is making this counterfeit money. Is the government truly behind it? I don't really want to spoil much for you guys, but there's a lot more. And if you are a new person watching Lupin the Third series, there's a bunch of characters you might not know, like Fujiko. I'm not gonna spoil what she is in the movie, but you will see. I'm trying to sell you on this movie so you could go watch it and support this franchise, rather than me tell you all the spoilers. So after this video, make sure you go and watch it. Like I stated in my intro, the characters in the show are very enjoyable. Lupin is a strong-willed man that could probably steal my heart and I wouldn't even notice. Lupin is definitely a big brain character that makes the viewers think to himself, well, how will Lupin get out of the situation now? I mean, there's literally a scene that I love of Lupin where he's just like ballerina dancing across the sky, and I was like, oh, that's your classic 1970s cartoon right there. And this is right after when he's just like Usain Bolting down this roof, and I'm just like, bro, what? How is Lupin gonna survive this? And that's one of my favorite things about Lupin. Also, Lupin is one of the most snarky and hard-headed characters, but will always follow what's right. He is a man with one purpose, as always, finding the best treasure, but also making sure that his team and the people that deserve justice gets it. Overall, this man will put a smile on your face while you're watching this movie, and in my opinion, watch the dub. I think Lupin's dub voice is 10 times better than the sub, but that's just me. Next we have Jigen, who is Lupin's right-hand man. Jigen in this movie acts kind of like Lupin's devil's advocate. He's always there for Lupin when times get rough and when Lupin really needs to escape. Jigen just has that vibe to him, you know what I'm saying? Maybe he's just very tough, it's the cigarette and the hat, and kind of acting like a cowboy. But I remember seeing him for the first time and using his pistol and thinking, "Chee! My man is goated, dog." Once I saw that pistol shot and him doing the whole thing with the sniper, I was sold. I even bought a shirt. I'll pop it up on screen right now. Jigen is just cool. He's just very classic. He's your classic cowboy character. I wouldn't be surprised if this man ended up in Red Dead 3, if we're gonna be honest. But alongside Jigen, we also have Guillemon. Excuse me, I'm pronouncing his name wrong. I've looked up many pronunciations, but I still can't find the right one. So Guillemon, whichever one is preferred. He's that samurai dude. He's the classic guy that does everything that sword characters and samurais do in anime. They do the chink with the sword, and then there's just a bunch of delaying slices on someone's body. That is Guillemon. He is a man with the classics and the basics to the swordsman. He had all the tropes you wanted in a swordsman, and he really didn't have a moment to shine in this movie, pretty much in my opinion. He was kind of just chilling there in this movie, but there's definitely some other scenes, I could pop one up right now, of him going all out, and I think that's a movie where it's like Lupin the Third, Samurai vs. Ninja, or something like that. That's also a good one. I haven't watched it, but I've heard really good things. Oh, and of course, we cannot forget the Catwoman of the group, Fujiko. Now, this might be a little spoiler territory, so if you want to click to this timestamp in the YouTube video, you could click over there. She got some shine in this movie, but my favorite bit of hers was when she started talking over the live feed of the wedding at the end of the movie. She's honestly just there in this movie, and doesn't really have much to offer besides saving Lupin and the crew later on. And of course, the big bad, Mr. Inspector Zenigata. He was really how do I say it? He's kind of like the Punisher. He's an anti-hero. He wants to do what's right, but also wants to catch the bad people. I really shouldn't compare Zenigata to the Punisher, because the Punisher just kills people, and Zenigata is just chilling trying to catch Lupin, but they have the same mindset when it comes to finding their own justice, and I think that's a really big theme in this movie. As we know, we have Inspector and Zenigata, who's the person trying to catch Lupin, but ends up having this Batman Commissioner Gordon relationship with him. I really enjoyed Zenigata's character because at the end of the day, he knew what Lupin was doing was right when it came to choosing his own side of justice when trying to save the girl and the Cagliostro family. That's pretty much it of the main cast of Lupin the Third characters. I really love Zenigata and Lupin's relationship in this series, and I think it's one that a lot of people will enjoy. Oh yeah, I almost forgot, the villain of this movie, the Count. He's pretty much your classic James Bond character like I said before, and honestly, if I showed you a picture of him right now, you could probably figure out the way he acts in this movie and what he does. He is just there. He also has these servants that look like they belong in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles episode, and then we have this other guy that looks like he could be Dr. Eggman's dad. I'm not gonna lie, Dr. Eggman's dad was pretty funny in this movie, I'm not gonna cap. Now, I'm not gonna pretend I have a degree in animation from the University of Harvard, but I will say I've watched a lot of badly animated shows, but sometimes animation makes some animes worth watching. You may be asking yourself, I'm Hitch, how is Lupin the Third's animation style better than this still on screen right now? Well, it's just different. Lupin the Third still has some amazing animation even though it's really outdated. There's something about the series that always seems like they're willing to draw out the frames, make sure everything looks nicer rather than being lazy. And like, for example, take the Berserk anime, and it's just doing this. I'd rather watch Lupin the Third Castle of Cagliostro than this. No hate on Berserk, I actually really like Berserk. I bought the big volume of 1, 2, and 3 the other week, and I actually started reading Berserk. That makes you sad, be careful. Anyways, on that side note, Lupin the Third's animation will give you nostalgic vibes, and honestly was enjoyable to watch. It just felt like I was watching DuckTales or the Batman animated series. Just made me feel like I was a kid again, watching a very nice animated movie. And of course, the soundtrack/OST in this movie was incredible. It was just very jazzy, a jazzy vibe to the soundtrack. Overall, made the mood better when watching this movie. The people that created the soundtrack definitely knew how to make impactful moments and left a very good taste in my mouth. There was just always something that the music was doing in the background that made me feel more for the characters, and the music provided people to be happy when there was happy moments going on, and then it made you sad when there was sad moments going on throughout the whole movie. Overall, I just think the jazzy theme to this movie was pretty good. To conclude, I kind of just want to talk about Lupin III Castle Cagliostro and why it's one of my favorite anime movies. It has everything I want in a movie. It has that fun cast, interesting story, and overall some clean animation. Like I said earlier in this video, the message of this movie can be seen in many ways, like trying to find your own style of justice. In this movie, we see Zenigata at the start of the movie want to chase down Lupin and make sure he's arrested, but then at the end of the movie, we see Zenigata wink at the princess and be like, see, I gotta go catch Lupin, because he knows at the end of the day, Lupin is following his own sense of justice, and he will do what's right. Even though he's a thief, he's kind of like Robin Hood. He will give back to the people that need it. He will help people that needs it. And at the end of the day, yes, he is a thief. He is in the wrong, but still he has his own sense of justice, and you could do what you want with that. Overall, that's the theme that I found. If you guys have found a theme in any of these, let me know. Honestly, this movie deserves a high spot on my list of my top 10 anime movies, alongside a lot of them like A Silent Voice and even Howl's Moving Castle. I cannot stress it enough, but if you want a nostalgic trip, you'll really enjoy this. And if you don't want to watch this old Lupin III movie, there's of course the new Lupin III movie, which is gonna be in theaters now or something like that, but I mean, COVID's a thing. Don't go outside, but it's in theaters. You could find it off illegal websites, or I don't know if you can find it off Crunchyroll, but it's a full CGI movie. I'm gonna watch it soon personally with some of my friends, because I told them I'm a Lupin fan, and I guess they are too, and just never decided to tell me. But you've probably seen this trailer all over TikTok, Instagram, any social media pretty much. It looks amazing. It's probably one of the best anime movies of all time when it comes to CGI, of course. We don't really have a lot to go off of. I mean, there's a lot of CGI shows like Ajin, but I think it's called the Lupin III the First or something like that. Takes CGI to a whole nother level, and it just looks very smooth and like a really great movie. But with that being said, guys, if you enjoyed this video so far, make sure you hit that like button and sub button, because it really means a lot to me. And if you enjoy this video and you hit that like button, YouTube will push me out to more people, and they will get to see me in their suggested. Enjoy your day, guys. Have a great Christmas and holiday season, no matter what holiday it's currently December 9th. I don't know when this video is going out. Have a great holiday season. Take it easy.